a British subscriber channel. It's a VanaVlog. It's a VanaVlog. A continuation of the last 2 or 3 that I've done. So if you haven't watched them, there's no point in watching this. So as I was saying in the last couple of vlogs, talking about our consciousness and talking about the environment, that they're 2 different things. So normal everyday things, and I was explaining that there is no time, and therefore there is no movement in our consciousness, and vice versa. If there is no movement, there is no time, and time is of course a lie. So what are you looking at right now? You know, I've decided to just zoom in on the street. So you've got apparently people coming into view and disappearing out of view. So that would say to you ordinarily, with all your indoctrination and everything, and the concept of time and movement firmly set in your mind, that it's actually true, because you can see people coming and going, coming into view, disappearing from view. These people are coming and going, so therefore time and movement must exist. Oh, why did it go blurry? That's weird. Oh, because what happened now? Is it something I said? Well, that's weird. That's weird. Hello? Hello? No, when you watch like a paranormal thing, when something like that happens, that means there's a ghost in view. That's why the camera can't focus. Yeah, so back to people moving, coming and going. If I'm right, then what exactly are we seeing? And this is the big secret that I suddenly perceived by the time I got to the end of my last VanaVlog. So what is going on here exactly? Right, what you are seeing is everything that consists of the environment, but not your consciousness. Your consciousness does not move. So what is moving is in fact the environment. And then you scratch your head and you think, well, hold on a minute. I mean, I've got a body, and I seem to come and go from place to place. I seem to move. Isn't that what is happening here with everyone else? And the answer is no, not at all. So, if you can imagine, you and me are in a like a huge glass tank, and we're just like standing there, and we're completely covered in kind of like a, I don't know, like a plasma glue, some kind of a liquid jelly conductor. You know, it's like, I'm sure I've got the idea off of a science fiction movie, some kind of gloop, transparent gloop. Yeah, what about that movie, Abyss? And they breathe that liquid oxygen. Well, they don't breathe, they just have to fill up their lungs with that liquid oxygen. Like the goo is oxygenated. I say let's add that aspect to it, okay? Because, you know, I don't want to drown. So there we are, we're both there. And then let's just say your eyes, where our eyes are closed. And then someone sticks a kind of metal rod, electrode, something like that, puts it into the goo that we're situated in, and then turns on some bit of voltage, yeah, and suddenly we both experience the same thing. We don't know each other are there, but we both experience the same thing. Now, with the movement and everything that you appear to see, it's just consciousness becoming aware of something within the environment. In our case, it's movement. In the case of us in the tank, it's electricity. Now, let's say someone took out the electrode, whatever you call it, metal fucking rod, and then actually stuck it into me, and then turn on some voltage. Yeah, you would suddenly be aware of that there was an electricity emanating from somebody next to you. Okay, so us in the tank, the environment that we are in can be manipulated, even though that we're not moving. It's you know, it's not a very good example, but it's the only one I can come up with, where we're having two people having a shared experience, but it's outside of their control, if you see what I mean. So that's kind of what's going on there. It's, and so if you want, the environment is the goo that we're completely baptized in, for want of a better word. Or maybe that's the right word. And the goo is moving, and we're both sharing that experience. But in life, when you look at things and when you appear to be going here and there, again, it's just a movement of the environment. But it's like a shared experience. So when you see people coming towards you and going away from you, they are in fact not. They're completely static. In their consciousness is completely static. But their experience of movement, I'm sharing their experience of movement, even though they're not moving, because we're just sharing in that goo kind of thing. The next thing is the environment itself. I don't want to say it, but I have to say it because I just need a point of reference. The environment itself is like an entity unto itself, and it includes the human body. And this entity has absolutely nothing to do with you whatsoever. So I know some people just believe in a non-spiritual universe, we're all just physical and nothing else. I have to open the window a bit. Anyway, when I take the human body and I say, well, the human body is part of the environment, you know, it's part of the environment, and the environment seems to be an entity. And if you think that your brain, your mind, your brain is just purely environmental, just chemical reactions, or you know, whatever belief system you've got, then what that means is, and I can actually see it myself now quite clearly, is that everything about you is fake. The way that you think, the things that you think, your judgment, your morality, the entire lot, it's all part of the environment, and you are not part of the environment. You are a consciousness. I swear I'm still not saying that word right. You're still a consciousness, but a consciousness, a state of awareness, is that alone. It's not. It's that. You know. For example, some people think that if they die, they'll continue to live on in a spirit form. You know, it's just, yeah. So basically, what I'm looking at every day is, if I say the matrix, the environment is like a matrix at the same time, and it's just like programs running. You know, everybody that you see is an NPC, including me. You know, is it an NPC? Non-player computer character. Although, at the same time, every person that I do see coming and going, I know there's a consciousness within it. But I can also see that they are completely deluded. You know, thinking that they're walking around doing things and thinking about, you know, should I run? Should I walk? Should I jump? How much time have I got? Do I need to go here? Do I need to do that? But it's all lies, because all such actions are to do with the environment alone. And it's just a play. It's not real. So that's what I'm seeing. I mean, I lived in France years ago with the wife, and we was looking after the godchildren. They were teenagers, kind of, somewhere between 13 and 18, something like that. And they used to do a thing called a rizzle, something like that. Basically, they get their computers, go over to their friend's place, and they set up around the table. They connect all of their computers to a server, whether it's an exterior server or their own one inside, and they all play like a war shooting game in the game. Now, they're all static, sitting there playing that game. On the screen, however, they're all together moving about, working as a team, planning to kill the enemy. So can you see the principle that way? In that you can be appear to be moving, yet you're not. And the reason I say insisting that this is true is because the consciousness doesn't move. So, time? What's the time?
Mario! Mario! Oh my God!
So I started doing this vlog right now, and there's like loads of people all around me, look like work people or something. They're just suddenly just congregating all around me. This is something else that I've noticed in the control of our lives. Remembering that people around me, they are consciousnesses, but they're not in control of their bodies. And so when I see peculiar behaviour or things that don't seem to make any sense, and I'm thinking, well, hold on, that's a bit of a coincidence, and why is that happening? I know that all of these bodies walking around is just part of the environment, part of the life. So I thought that was an important point to make. Second point I want to make. It's 12. Then 1 o'clock. Oh. Like in the last couple of VanaVlogs, I was talking about our consciousness being like a diamond or a crystal with many facets on it, and all of this environmental stuff going on is for a reason to black mirror the facets of your consciousness. And when I was talking about black mirror, I said, you know, the black mirror is a bit like a 8mm cine film where you've just got static pictures moving fast to create the illusion of movement. And I gave the example of somebody cine filming yourself and then playing it back. I didn't go on to explain why this is happening, but I am now. But first, there it is. But first, let's give you a better picture of the consciousness as I see it. So like, it must have been within the last 3 years. Do you know the game The Tipping Point? Basically, you've got like 3 shells with like coins on top, and then you put a coin in, it falls down at the back, falls onto one of the shelves, and hopefully pushes some of the coins off the top shelf onto the second shelf. And then those coins that are falling onto the second shelf push other coins onto the third shelf, and then hopefully those coins on the third shelf will push the coins off the edge of the third shelf, and you win that money. And on top of it, on top of all those coins, in these like arcades, they put like little trinkets and stuff like that. So you're in trinkets apart from the money. And so in the last 3-4 years or something, I can't quite remember, I won this. It's I guess it's glass like a crystal, but you can see how many facets are on it. And I was hoping to use it like some kind of light or something like that, some kind of light display or something, just something, just an experiment to do something. And so it really fucking pains me that I'm going to have to destroy that now to make the point, So here's a visual representation. Yeah, so now I'm going to black mirror one of these facets. It's fucking annoying. What a waste, man. Anyway. There you go. Doesn't look that good. I lost a tooth. I was fucking taken out the dentist yesterday. Fuck's sake. Well, I lost a tooth. It's not my tooth. I didn't even go to the dentist. No environment told me that I did, and then had the tooth. It's all bollocks. Fucking. Oh well. Oops, sorry. So yeah, that's it. It's been black mirrored. So if you're on the inside looking out, and that's what your consciousness is, as it were, in this environment, if you're looking from the inside out now, if you can see it, it's, hold on. Where is it? Or maybe I need to do a fucking bigger fucking bollocks. Well, I showed you it first. It was completely clear, right? So let's do another facet. I thought a permanent marker would do a better job than this. What can you do, man? Fuck, what about from that angle? See, from that angle there? So you're looking from the underside out, and now it's blackened. That's looking from the inside out. This is looking from the outside in. Right? But that's representative of a black mirror. You looking out and you're seeing a representation of yourself, but you're not, because you're not looking out one of the other facets of your consciousness that hasn't been black mirrored. You can see, as it were. All you can see in actuality is the environment. So you only see what the environment wants you to see, or feel, or touch, or be, the whole illusion of it all. So that's okay. That's making sense. The process of the environment, what it's doing to us, is I can apply that to a single day or a week or your entire lifespan. So in a day, all of these facets can be black mirrored. Yeah, so then you go to bed at night. Why do you have to go to bed at night? Because it cements the illusion. So I don't know what time you go to bed, 10, 11, 12, 1. You know, your body feels tired, right? So then you have to go to bed and then sleep. And then you wake up the next morning. Now that has cemented the concept for you that you've spent a whole day and then you went to bed. And then you start a new day. So that whole day has now been black mirrored. See? So it works on that scale. It works on a weekly scale as well. And over the course of your apparent life, until the day you're dead, the entire thing will be black mirrored. The whole thing. And all you will have is the false impression of yourself and your life. Your consciousness has become blind. I'm just waiting for the other bits to fall into place. Give me a minute. Works on two fronts. One is faith and belief. You believe what you see. And you choose to have faith in what you see, what you experience in the environment. And it's in that acceptance that on one level you allow that to happen. You accept the black mirroring of your consciousness. And so it's inconceivable to you to be anything than part of the environment, because the experience that you're having, the cinema black mirror experience that you're having, it's you believe it. You know, you don't look beyond it. You don't look out other facets that are not blind. Anyway, so it's convincing you to blind yourself in that respect. And the other thing is your experience in real time in the world becomes more and more limited every day, every week, every year, every decade. which makes it easier for the environment to continue what it's doing undetected. How do I get around to the next point? Oh, hi Trinity. Thanks for your comment saying you was happy I'm VanaVlogging again. Cheers. Right. Because time doesn't exist and movement doesn't exist, and we go through this black mirroring thing all the time, and no doubt we've died before and then it started again, and we've died and we started again, and we have absolutely no recollection whatsoever of that time when we lived. And the reason being, because it's been black mirrored, the whole lot. Your consciousness has been completely black mirrored from when you've been here before. Although you haven't been here before, you're here all the time. But the life cycle that you think that you live, that's on a repetition going on. But of course you can't die. But you can be, your consciousness can be black mirrored to all aspects of the environment, which includes the concept of time and movement. You're blind to it. You shouldn't be, but that's how it's done. You know. So in the environment, so let's say like, you know, environment kills you off, you've been black mirrored, and then the environment puts on a new scenario on your consciousness and you're a baby. And what do you know? Nothing, because of faith and belief. If it was not so, I'd be able to tell you my entire day in the year 1979 or 1981, what I had for breakfast, where I was living, what I was doing, where I went, what I had for lunch, what snacks I had during the day, anything. I'd be able to tell you anything. But the environment has black mirrored that day. Or did I say a date? 6th of June in that year. I've got no idea, none whatsoever. I should, in my consciousness, I should be aware of everything that's going on around me. But what's going on around me is being black mirrored, and so I can't remember. Can you? So, you know, that's how it works. That's what's going on. If you think about it long enough, everything makes sense. So yeah, you know, that's what's going on. You know, and as to the whole environment, including our own human bodies, and I consider it to be an enemy. I don't think it's doing anything good to my consciousness, or in fact anybody else's. When I you know, when I view, you know, bodies walking around, I can see that they're completely deluded, completely. I think, oh, my legs are aching. Oh, I'm hungry. What's that over there? What did you say? Blah, 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 blah. You know, but they're just like being carried around. Except they're not being carried around. I mean, visually, I can see that they're being carried around, but I know they're not being carried around. It's just the experience of being in that tank with the goo and putting certain things into it. And fucking hallucinogenics into the fucking goo. It's all that's going on. And that's the key. You know, everything we've been taught has been taught to us by the environment, built on the principles of the environment, built on the projected experience onto our consciousness. You know, being explained away to be real. And the laws of the physics of it. Chuck in a bit of religion, a bit of God, a bit of science in there. Fucking bit of salt, a bit of fucking sage, a bit of hallucinogenics, a bit of fucking acid, you name it, all in the mix. So yeah, that's what's going on. And, I finally got it. And I think it was the morning after the last vlog I did. I was just driving to work and I just started laughing. I'm saying, like, I can see you. I can actually see you. See, and now people are congregating around my van again because I'm getting right to the point. Like for me, I'm thinking, oh, I don't want them to hear what I'm saying, if they even understood. They can see that I'm videoing myself. But again, you know, it's just the environment trying to control what's going on. Because I am kind of like, I haven't quite worked this out yet because I haven't really given it a lot of thought, but I am interacting with it and manipulating it to a certain degree to do a VanaVlog. But, you know, I suppose, like, in a sense, what I'm doing is I'm kind of like scratching away at the black mirror and like revealing it, kind of thing. And so, of course, the environment, which is on the outside of it, is trying to blacken it out, and I'm kind of scratching it out at the same time. I'm not sure how I'm doing that in that sense, but I am.
Really a tool for society.
12. Yeah, I've been working in infant schools, academies, just schools basically this week. And particularly like the academies, I mean, these kids around me right now, I guess they're about 15, 16, something like that, you know. And they're on the cusp where they're going to leave the school. I suppose, you know, within, I don't know if they're actually leaving at this point in the year. Is it February, March, February, April? Within about 6 months, they're going to have the shock of their lives, because everything they've been taught at school is going to be irrelevant to the slavery tax system, working system that they're about to go into. Totally unprepared, confused, and their lives are going to turn to shit. They haven't got the skill set to cope with it, and most of them will just go crazy and go mental. And go through such turmoil like the first day of school when they're separated from their parents. You know, and even at this age, you know, did I say 16 or something, and I go in these academies and that, you know, they all have to walk in straight lines, the teacher's screaming at them all the time, get in line, get here now, go over there. And then I've been in other schools where, like, I guess they're like somewhere between 7 and 12. And no, let's just go for the early years. So kind of like 4 to 6 years old. You know, all the time the teachers are like screaming at the kids, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, because you're going to go to the big school next year or in a couple of years. And that's the motive, programming their brain day after day, all day, day after day. You've got to do this because you're going to go to the big school. And then, of course, they're totally brainwashed. And then they go to the big school. And then it's almost like being in the army. The way the teachers talk to the kids and treat them and everything, you know, bloody awful. Yeah. Or just, you know, just seeing kids in the playground playing basketball, they're all running around having fun and everything because they're out of class, you know. And I just feel so sorry for them, thinking like, my gosh, you have got no idea what's being done to you and what awaits you when you finally get kicked out, because the indoctrination is complete. I saw a thing on TikTok the other day. I might share it on the channel. You know how when you're born, you've got 7 years to claim your birth certificate, your original birth certificate. Otherwise, you're deemed lost at sea. And then your original birth certificate is no longer available to you. I think your parents have to claim it. And funny enough, this guy was saying that when you go to school, for the first 7 years of your life, I don't know what was it they said, I can't remember now. Hold on. Oh, hypnosis. Up to the age of 7 years, you're most vulnerable to hypnosis. Something along those lines. And then after that age, you're not quite so vulnerable, something like that. But I thought it was curious that in the environment uses the same time frame for both of those crimes. I've got a couple of people commented on my last couple of VanaVlogs saying they need to talk to me about this whole subject, that I'm missing something, some important information, and I haven't as yet. got in contact with them because I've almost completely stopped drinking alcohol, and the withdrawal symptoms have been fucking terrible. Then yeah, it's my own fault. It's my own fucking belief system. I have faith and believe it's all true and everything, and it's, you know, but I'm just starting off. It's a bit like a scratch card, isn't it?
DK, can I have the boost?
Because the environment right now is really trying to stop me doing this vlog.
Yeah, Kenny, check me. One more. Kenny, I know you see me. One more. Yeah, Kenny. Hey, Kenny, one touch, please.
I mean, again, you know, when you think about, you know, like the soul, the consciousness, and it has like so many different facets on it, so many different angles, you know. And then, you know, when I view the environment, it's exactly the same. It's an attack on all fronts. You know, the diversity of everything, so many micro systems and macro systems and giant systems all cogging and working together with belts and wheels and fucking, you know. In a sense, I kind of get a view of my own consciousness and everybody else's, in that how the goo, the environmental goo, if you like, has shaped itself around us. You know, particularly like from the angle of like flat Earth British and Antiquitech, and, you know, all the different styles of buildings, you know, Classic Age, Edwardian Age, Medo-Persian Age, whatever, you know, all different styles. Yeah, I think I'll come to an end of it. You know, I think that's kind of like the level I've got to at the moment. I mean, on reflection, because this is now my mind state, and I guess it's been about a week, I'm kind of, what would the word be?
You don't know that it's the quiet one.
Correcting my visual experience of the environment and what's going on and everything.
You guys are buying 10 cocktails. Yeah, you guys are unsafe.
I kind of realised that people are not people. You know, they're just the environment. And I've kind of like been thinking about family and friends, and you know, what their relationship is to me. Maybe a father, maybe a brother, or sister, or, you know, whatever it is. It's a lie. It's a lie. You know, funny enough, I mean, this isn't new, this last point that I'm making here. Biblically, from the Bible, it says, apparently God says, I knit you together in your mother's womb, or fashioned you, or put you together in your mother's womb. And that's talking to any person on earth, that verse. I knit you together in your mother's womb. So what that means is like God is if it's a male, is the father of all creation. So like if a man and woman get together and then they have a baby and they consider themselves to be the mother and the father, they are in fact not. They're just registered keepers. They're deluded biblically. As far as the Bible is concerned, anybody that considers themselves to be a mother or a father are deluding themselves because God made them. So, what I'm saying isn't new, but I'm not coming from that perspective whatsoever. I'm just, I just go so far as to say that, anybody that I meet, whatever relationship I think that I have with them or they have with me, is based on a lie. It's simply not true. Whether they're tall or short, fat, skinny, doesn't matter. It's the environment that has informed them and formed them. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of like it's become difficult for me to justify all judgments that I've ever made on people or make on people even today. I can't. I mean, if someone's a cunt, I can say, well, okay, they're a cunt. Right? The environment has formed them into being a cunt. The consciousness within it is neither here nor there. It's got nothing to do with it. It's just being carried along with it and being black mirrored. So I'm not saying that there isn't like good or bad people. There are fat or short or tall people, black people, yellow people, green people, blue people. But they're not what I think they are. I wouldn't say that I'm not viewing people in a new way. Exactly. I'm just not viewing people as I viewed them before, because I know now it's a complete nonsense. It's not true. And also I'm kind of like, when I'm scratching off the blackened facet, I'm also erasing my own personality and character and mentality as well, because that's all being formed by the environment or over. I've said before, if you had a different history, would you still be the same person you are today? And the answer is, same principle applies. You are not your history. And time doesn't exist.
I was walking in the middle of the road the other day. You saw that? Bro.
Oh yeah. About separating your consciousness from the environment. There's something you can try doing. It's up to you how long you do it for. But if you're just like, a conveyance on a road somewhere, and people are coming and going, cars are coming and going, cover one eye. I obviously can't physically do that because someone will say that I'm into the one eye triangle shit thing, so I can't actually physically show you. But like, if you close one eye or put your hand over one eye, just look straight. Yeah, everything becomes 2D. And if you have both eyes open, you've got your 3D perception back. But to separate your own consciousness from the environment, just try that and see what happens. Because when you do that, the 3D world, the depth of it, the reality of it, is cut in half. And you can just see it as it is, like a movie, like watching a movie on the TV. Give it a try. You'll see what I mean. Well, fucking Matrix has given up on that fucking effort to try and stop me. They've all gone now. And so, I'm saying, like, perhaps May the 1st. What's the date? April. How many days are there in April? I've got no idea. Oh, it's a Monday. Monday, I think Monday is May the 1st. So I was saying the Phoenicians might turn up. I mean, I don't know. It's definitely May. And funny enough, that guy talking to Martin on this last Flatter-Day vlog, the live, he was talking about the Phoenix year every 138 years. I looked it up on the internet, and it does talk about Phoenix years, but not 138 years, like different combination of years, like 460 years, something like that. Don't quote me. But anyway, interestingly enough, when these Phoenix year cycles apparently reset, it's in the month of May. But back to the tank of goo stuff. It might as well be water. I mean, when you look at the environment, and including our own bodies, it's all water. It's all water. So I think it's a fair guess, and it is just a guess, to say that all of this environmental attack is water-based, as far as I can see. And so, with the Phoenicians, with the frequencies and all the technology and everything like that, using water as a medium to even, perhaps deteriorate or enhance the human body, it's kind of irrelevant. It's just all part and parcel of the same manipulation. illusion. You know, I suppose, you know, when I'm talking about like the architecture of the Phoenicians and everything, you know, there clearly was a time when this entity, this environment, whatever the hell it is, actually got our consciousness in, not time, but one of these facets that have all been fucking black mirrored, to actually celebrate. To celebrate the whole thing, you know? Crazy. And of course, because there is no time, but taking into consideration the concept of time in regards to the future, tomorrow, next year, the year after that, or in 10 years, or, you know, 1 week before the day of your death, you can't see it. But it hasn't happened yet, so that's why you can't see it. But there is no time, so you can see it. But what it is the future is as much a lie as is the past, and it's black mirrored. There is no future, there's no such thing, and there is no past, there is no such thing. For you as a consciousness, time does not exist. It's not made of this place, so it doesn't come under the law of physics or whatever you want. It's not part of it. And so the concept of time, the future and the past, it's all one and the same thing. I could say that you've been black mirrored simultaneously in the past with the future. You know, like in England and Germany, you've got twin towns. So one town is also called a German town. And then in Germany, there's a German town that is also called an English named town. They're twins. The past and the future are twins. When they black mirror an aspect of your past, they're simultaneously doing it to your future. It's the same thing. Why? Because time doesn't exist. It's an illusion. Bastards. I don't know the reason why this is all happening. But going on, I will find out. And that's the end of this VanaVlog.